Peace, of and light in Islam. It's right day, the 16th day of Dub, 301627 on the Amexem-Moor calendar, which is predicated upon the mitochondrial DNA origin of the Homo sapiens sapien. You could have been in a lot of places doing a lot of things, however you chose to view this video. I hope that you take the time to view it in its entirety. And what I have to say in this video, if it resonates in your spirit, we hope to be engaged or engage with you one day. So on behalf of the entire organic nation, the entire national collection of souls comprising the population of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitutional-Monarchy, welcome. So as the Bay of the Greater-Amexem with the inclusion of the Atlantis and Atlantis-Islands, as the Bay of the Alkebu-lan and the Ab.Zu, as the Bay of the Cush-Harappa with the including of Dwaraka and Cusharappasi, as the Bay of the Kumari-Kandam, welcome. As the Amexem-Moor-Empire Sovereign Head, Possessor of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial-Sovereign-Crown and Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial-Scepter, I welcome you. As the organic author, the organic holder in due course, the organic holder in good faith, the primary enforcer and primary protector of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitution, welcome. As the physical manifestation of the sovereign power of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitutional-Monarchy, I welcome you as the organic controller of the Regal-Powers of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitutional-Monarchy, in the service of the entire Amexem-Moor-Empire National Collection of Souls, welcome. There's a lot going on across this planet. The Western socially engineered engagements are starting to crumble. Despite this, the colonizing-hostiles and their melanated puppets, they think they've already won. They most certainly have not. There are close to 200 quote-unquote central banks on this planet, and they are controlled by one particular entity. And they make particular moves to control how resources are acquired, how they are distributed, and how they are used, by whom and when. For the most part, that's how they control the bulk of the population across this planet. And they get the bulk of the population of this planet to dance to their tune, to play their game, to exist and function as their franchisees, tied back to their franchises, tied back to the franchisor. And that franchisor holds them all as nothing more than economic slaves. And there are a few who think they know something. They know very little, but they think they know something, and they are nothing more than glorified serfs. This is cold, hard reality, and there are those who don't like to talk about things like this. You must sweep things under the rug and be quiet about this. However, that doesn't change what's going on with your reality. Melanated man and woman, I'm speaking to you exclusively, specifically. You're under the impression that you don't have choices, so you go along to quote-unquote get along. Nothing can be further from the truth. Absolutely nothing can be further from the truth. You do have practical, sensible, viable options, choices, and solutions. And the reason why I know this, the Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial Government on my watch has been providing this unto you for 24 Earth years. It's what we do here. We cannot compel you to undo the crazy, to unlearn the crazy from the colonizing-hostiles and their social engineering. We cannot compel you to not participate in the economic insanity. For those that are seeking a viable option, our work is not something that we talk about. We simply show better than we tell. And there are those across this planet that use a platform called social media to work out their mental hygiene issues and their loneliness issues. Social media should be used to make known practical and sensible, viable options that are not tied back to a dogma and rhetoric box that folks voluntarily put themselves in. That is what the colonizing-hostiles do to our kith and kindred. And that is what the quote-unquote conscious community folks, as a general rule, do to our kith and kindred who are just now starting to wake up. They have no idea what questions to ask as a rule. So they'll take whatever is shoveled at them by these quote-unquote conscious community leaders. Some of them wear feathers like me. Some of them wear turbans, some of them wear feathers. Some of them wear a combination of all that. Some of them call themselves experts. There's a time and place for everything, including entertainment. Most of these folks are entertainers. They're what I call the camera leaders, the podium bangers. A feel-good speech is one thing. It does not show you how to keep the bridges and tunnels operating. It does not show you how to keep the electrical power grid going. It doesn't show you how to maintain maintenance of way to get the sewage out of your homes. You have to think things through. There are those that are here to do one work, and we don't knock that work, peace be upon them. We just don't do that they do. There are those that are about quote-unquote nationality packages and quote-unquote sovereignty packages. There are those that will tell you that you can do a piece of paper and get your freedom. As if it really is that simple. There is no such thing as private sovereignty without collective sovereignty first. Collective sovereignty requires training, lots of it, ongoing, escalating. Either you're acquiring that training or you're not. Either you have the knowledge, wisdom, and comprehension, or you don't. There are folks out there that will tell you that information is power. It is not. No. Information that's been contemplated and discerned upon and acted upon accordingly is power. Power without control is pointless. Context, perspective, knowledge, wisdom that allows you to have power and control when you have the knowledge from doing intense investigation as opposed to quote-unquote research. Language is truly the companion of empires, and most of our kith and kindred know zero about language and even less about arena comprehension. So they think they know what a quote-unquote contract is or what quote-unquote contract law is. And they generally might mean well, but the evidence is overwhelming that they don't know their head from their elbow. It's not a personal attack. This is what the evidence bears out. There are those who stay in their lane. They know the accounts of the annals as opposed to so-called his story. And they instruct in that. Peace be upon them. Someone must do that work. Within the Amexem-Moor-Empire, all of our nationals, almost 54,000 of us across this planet on 4 continents. How we think I can speak is 180 degrees diametrically opposed to how most of our kith and kindred exist and function. Because they are merely quote-unquote educated as opposed to being learned. And there are consequences to just merely being quote-unquote educated as opposed to being learned. And you're looking at it play out generation after generation after generation. Those that give you feel-good speeches and edutainment, as they call it, to a degree they're doing you a disservice. Information that you can acquire on your own now in the information era. In your pocket, you generally have what they call a cell phone, what most folks do. Information from all across the planet at your disposal, in your hand. Brick and mortar for a quote-unquote school, for a quote-unquote religious entity. If you're into that type of thing, peace be upon you, enjoy yourself. No knock. For the practical and sensible existence and functionality, that, on the other hand, requires that you remove yourself from boxes. It is very arrogant for folks to think that they know something. Our life expectancy at the galactic level doesn't even qualify as a nanosecond. What do we possibly think that we know? Besides, not much. However, what we do know can be applied practically and sensibly. How do we use resources? How we extract these resources? How we distribute resources? How we use resources? Does not have to be in the manner that the colonizing hostiles do so and cause you to do so as you, quote unquote, go along to allegedly get along. They're having a party that you weren't invited to. Again, they're coming into a new era now of virtual reality and AI. They're here to stay whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not. However, they are exterior and you don't have to engage. There are things that you can do that's practical and sensible that will allow you a comfort, that will allow you a quality of life that is not tied back to the crumbs that's provided to you. You don't need their recipe. You don't need their cake. We took care of that. What you require is intense amount of training. What you require is a socioeconomic infrastructure that is of, by, and for the heterosexual melanated man and woman. We have that. We expand that because we live this. There's no timeouts. There's no pause. All is fair in loving war. Business is war, and the war is never over. We know that. So we train to make sure we're always able to exist and function on our own terms without being encumbered. We do our duty, obligation, and responsibility collectively to make sure that we don't get in the situation where we cannot negotiate from a position of strength. Talent and skill is one thing. Collective talent and skill is one thing. Competent plans and backup plans to backup plans. Competent budgets to make those plans manifest. Fraud countermeasures, instant accountability operations in place, operational underway, dispute resolution, operational underway, all that of, by, and for the heterosexual melanated men and women across this planet. Not theory. We're already doing this. Medium of exchange, we have that. Global Common Market, the Amexem-Moor-Empire Global Common Market, already operational underway. The Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial Depository allows for transactions to manifest all across this planet so business can proceed within the Amexem-Moor-Empire Global Common Market, independent of the colonizing hostiles and their melanated puppets. You do have a choice. It's upon you to exercise said choice. In the comment section on this video, you will find the means to contact us through buffers, contractors, and subcontractors. We don't have a YouTube channel. We influence folks that do. We don't do the encumbered thing. You have choices. What you choose is your right. But you cannot say we didn't come before you to offer you a viable option, choice, and solution unto the crazy from the colonizing hostiles and their melanated puppets. Think about this, contemplate upon this, discern upon this, and follow spirit, because spirit never lies. We lie to ourselves. Stop lying to yourself. Think things through, not just for you, for your babies, your offspring, your posterity. On behalf of the entire organic nation, the entire population, the entire natural collection of souls that comprises the population of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitutional-Monarchy. Thank you for a few minutes of your time. Peace, love, and light, and Islam.